All right, well, we are in the middle of the final scene, which is quite a long scene. I'm just going to do a quick recap of what's happened so far in this scene, and then we're going to start reading some more. So, Fabian asked Festi for the letter. Festi refused Fabian the letter. It was Malvolio's letter to Olivia, we presume. Then Orsino comes in, and the fool Festi jokes around with him, gets some money from him, as Festi always manages to do. He's very good at that. And then he heads off to find Lady Olivia for Orsino to speak with. Then we have the policeman bring Antonio to see Orsino so that Orsino can make he can give his word against Antonio. Meanwhile, Viola is trying to intercede for Antonio because she thinks he was really kind to me. He saved me from this duel I didn't want to be in. But then at the same time, he said all these things that sounded pretty crazy. Like, where's my purse? And I know you, Sebastian. I saved your life. But she feels somewhat beholden to Antonio, like she owes him something because he saved her from a duel. And then we hear a few more details about the sea battle between Antonio and Orsino. So we find out that Orsino's nephew lost his leg. And Antonio is feeling really, really betrayed by Sebastian because he exposed himself. He came to Illyria, exposed himself to his enemies for Sebastian's sake, and then Sebastian didn't give back his purse. And so he's upset. And Viola is very confused. Then Orsino asks, well, when did this person you speak of come to town? And he says, just yesterday. He was with me 100% of the time previously. So obviously he can't be talking about Viola, which we knew anyway. Okay, now in comes Olivia. For the first time in a play that has been about this love story, for the first time we actually see the two of them together. You would think this should have happened long ago. But now it's finally happening. They have to confront each other. They have to talk it out. So Olivia comes in with her attendants. And Orsino says, he flips into his romantic mode and he says, here comes the Countess. Now heaven walks on earth. But he turns to Antonio, but for thee, fellow, thy words are madness. 3 months this youth hath tended upon me. So he says, you're wrong. This young man hasn't been with you for 3 months. He's been with me for 3 months. And then he turns to the police officer and says, take him aside. Now he turns back to Olivia. What would my lord, but that he may not have? Which means, what does my lord want other than me, that he cannot have? Wherein Olivia may seem serviceable. Cesario, you do not keep promise with me. Madam? Gracious Olivia. What do you say, Cesario? Good, my lord. So Olivia really doesn't want to spend the time of day with Orsino. She is more curious about Cesario and is saying, you're breaking a promise to me. Viola, however, doesn't want to get in the way of this. She feels she's been a distraction the whole time. So she says, my lord would speak. My duty hushes me. So Olivia talks to Orsino. If it be aught to the old tune, my lord, it is as fat and fulsome to mine ear as howling after music. She says, it's as pleasant to hear you talk about love as it is to listen to something howling. Still so cruel, still so constant, lord. She's saying, I'm not being cruel. This is the same thing I've always told you. What, to perverseness? You uncivil lady, to whose ingrate and unauspicious altars my soul, the faithfulest offerings have breathed out that ever devotion tendered. What shall I do? Even would it please my lord that shall become him. Why should I not, had I the heart to do it, like to the Egyptian thief at point of death, kill what I love? A savage jealousy that sometimes savors nobly. So this starts to get a little scary here. He says, what if, like in this story about the Egyptian thief, I kill the thing I love since I can't have it? And if you look at your notes in the book, there's a little note about it. It's an allusion to a novel in which a robber who is threatened with death tries to kill the woman he loves to prevent her being taken by another. So this is a really horrible turn of jealousy where you don't really love someone, but you want them to be yours so much that your main thing is that you don't want anyone else to get them. And so Orsino is like, maybe I'll just kill you then so no one else can have you. But hear me this. Since you to non-regardance cast my faith, and that I partly know the instrument that screws me from my true place in your favor, live you the marble-breasted tyrant still. So now things start to take a turn. Orsino says, I kind of know what's gotten in the way. He's realizing that Viola has gotten in the way for him. But this, your minion, whom I know you love, and whom by heaven I swear I tender dearly, him will I tear out of that cruel eye where he sits crowned in his master's spite. Come, boy, with me. My thoughts are ripe in mischief. I'll sacrifice the lamb that I do love to spite a raven's heart within a dove. So Orsino is angry here. And we know that Orsino loves Cesario. Cesario was his favorite servant to talk to about things, but he thinks that Cesario has been unfaithful to him by wooing Olivia. And of course, we know Viola has tried to stop that from happening, but Orsino's angry because he thinks that Viola has tried to get Olivia to fall in love with her. And so these two lines at the very end are very important. I'm going to highlight them here. I'll sacrifice the lamb that I do love. So the lamb that he loves is Cesario or Viola, but he will sacrifice that to spite, to get back at a raven's heart within a dove. So a dove is considered a really beautiful bird, and that would be Olivia. And then a raven is considered ugly. And so he's saying that Olivia's heart is like a raven's heart inside this really beautiful dove. Does that make sense? So he's saying, I'll sacrifice Cesario to make this raven's heart angry and get back at her. Viola starts freaking out. This was unexpected. And I, most jocund, apt, and willingly, to do you rest 1,000 deaths would die. So she says, I would give myself up if it would make you happy. Where goes Cesario? After him I love, more than I love these eyes, more than my life, more by all Moors than e'er I shall love wife. So Viola starts to follow angry Orsino, and Olivia says, what are you doing? Don't go with him. And Viola says, I'm going after the person I love, more than I love my own life, more than I could ever love a wife. She's not quite revealing who she is, but she is revealing that she loves Orsino. If I do feign, you witnesses above, punish my life for tainting of my love. I me, detested, how I am beguiled. Who does beguile you? Who does do you wrong? So Olivia's really mad that Viola is following her master. And Viola says, who is beguiling you? Like, who is playing you false here? Who is doing wrong to you? Hast thou forgot thyself? Is it so long? Call forth the Holy Father. Now see if this might be turning over in your mind a little bit. Olivia calls on the priest. What do you think she's going to say to Viola? Orsino says, come away. Whither, my lord? Cesario, husband, stay. Husband? So now Orsino's angrier than ever. He thinks that Cesario, his beloved servant, has secretly married Olivia. And Olivia thinks so too. I, husband, can he that deny? Her husband, Sarah? No, my lord, not I. Poor Viola. Everyone's upset with her now. Alas, it is the baseness of thy fear that makes thee strangle thy propriety. Fear not, Cesario. Take thy fortunes up. Be that thou knowest thou art, and then thou art as great as that thou fearest. So she says, don't be afraid to admit that we did get married. You're brave and strong, and we can do this. In comes the priest. Oh, welcome, Father. Father, I charge thee by thy reverence here to unfold, though lately we intended to keep in darkness, what occasion now reveals before 'tis ripe. What thou dost know hath newly passed between this youth and me. So she says, I know we just told you to keep this marriage a secret, but I need you to announce it publicly now so that we can clear this thing up. The priest says, a contract of eternal bond of love, confirmed by mutual joinder of your hands, attested by the holy close of lips, strengthened by interchangement of your rings, and all the ceremony of this compact sealed in my function by my testimony. Since when, my watch hath told me, toward my grave I have travelled but 2 hours. So he's saying, but 2 hours ago, you two were married. You kissed, you exchanged rings, you made vows, and I swear to it that you were married. Orsino is now furious. O thou dissembling cub, what wilt thou be when time hath sowed a grizzle on thy case? Or will not else thy craft so quickly grow that thine own trip shall be thine overthrow? Farewell, and take her, but direct thy feet where thou and I henceforth may never meet. So Orsino says, fine, you're married, go be with her, but I never, ever want to see you again. My lord, I do protest. Oh, do not swear, hold little faith. Thou hast too much fear. And now we add another person, Sir Andrew. It's time for a little humor, isn't it? That got a bit intense with Orsino. So Andrew says, for the love of God, a surgeon, send one presently to Sir Toby. What's the matter? Has broke my head across and has given Sir Toby a bloody coxcomb too. So he's saying someone broke my head, meaning cut open my head, cut open Sir Toby's head. For the love of God, your help. I had rather than 40 pounds I were at home. Who has done this, Sir Andrew? The Count's gentleman, one Cesario. We took him for a coward, but he's the very devil incarnate. So Andrew's saying, or Olivia says, who hurt you and Sir Toby? And Andrew says, it was Cesario. Then Orsino is now very confused. My gentleman Cesario? Odds lifelings, here he is. You broke my head for nothing, and that I did, I was set on to do it by Sir Toby. So he's saying, I only hit you because Sir Toby made me do it, and you hurt me. Why do you speak to me? I never hurt you. You drew your sword upon me without cause. But I bespake you fair and hurt you not. Viola's saying, I didn't hurt you at all in our duel. You're the one who started it. If a bloody coxcomb be a hurt, meaning a bloody head, you have hurt me. I think you set nothing by a bloody coxcomb. Now we have more tomfoolery. Toby and Feste enter. Here comes Sir Toby, halting. You shall hear more. But if he had not been in drink, he would have tickled you other gates than he did. So he's saying, Toby would have got back at you if he hadn't been drunk. How now, gentlemen? How is it with you? That's all one. Has hurt me, and there's the end on it. Sot. Did see Dick surgeon, Sot? Oh, he's drunk, Sir Toby. An hour agone. His eyes were set at 8 in the morning. Then he's a rogue and a passy measures pavin. I hate a drunken rogue. That is definitely the pot calling the kettle black there, for Toby to say he hates a drunken rogue. Who's the real drunken rogue? Away with him. Who hath made this havoc with them? I'll help you, Sir Toby, because we'll be dressed together. Will you help? An asshead and a coxcomb and a knave, a thin-faced knave, a gull. All of a sudden, Toby is taking out all this on Sir Andrew because the prank went too far and they actually got really, truly injured by Sebastian, which Toby never planned to happen. Get him to bed, says Olivia, and let his hurt be looked to. Okay, so the crazy people and Fusty leave. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Enter Sebastian. I am sorry, madam. I have hurt your kinsman. But had it been the brother of my blood, I must have done no less with wit and safety. You throw a strange regard upon me, and by that I do perceive it hath offended you. Pardon me, sweet one, even for the vows we made each other but so late ago. So he says, I'm so sorry I did hurt your uncle. Please forgive me, sweetheart. Think of our vows. Now, Orsino is the first to realize one face, one voice, one habit, and two persons. A natural perspective that is and is not. So he's looking back and forth between them. He's saying they have the same face, the same voice, the same clothes, but they're two different people. Antonio! Oh, my dear Antonio! How have the hours racked and tortured me since I have lost thee? Sebastian, are you? Fearest thou that, Antonio? How have you made division of yourself? I like that. How did you make two of you? An apple cleft in two is not more twin than these two creatures. Which is Sebastian? Most wonderful, comments Olivia. Do I stand there? That line always makes me laugh. Is that me over there? I never had a brother, nor can there be that deity in my nature of here and everywhere. I had a sister whom the blind waves and surges have devoured of charity. What kin are you to me? What countryman? What name? What parentage? So Sebastian is looking at Viola. Even Sebastian thinks Viola is a man. And so he says, well, clearly you're related to me because you look just like me, but who are you? How are we related? Explain. Of Messaline. That's where they're from. Sebastian was my father. Such a Sebastian was my brother too. So went he suited to his watery tomb. If spirits can assume both form and suit, you come to fright us. A spirit I am indeed, but am in that dimension grossly clad which from the womb I did participate. Were you a woman, as the rest goes even, I should my tears let fall upon your cheek and say, thrice welcome, drowned Viola. So Sebastian's saying, if you were a woman, I would think you were my sister. My father had a mole upon his brow, and so had mine, and died that day when Viola from her birth had numbered 13 years. That record is lively in my soul. He finished indeed his mortal act that day that made my sister 13 years. If nothing, let's to make us happy both, but this my masculine usurped attire, do not embrace me till each circumstance of place, time, fortune, do cohere and jump, that I am Viola, which to confirm, I'll bring you to a captain in this town, where lie my maiden weeds, by whose gentle help I was preserved to serve this noble count. All the occurrence of my fortune since hath been between this lady and this lord. So Viola finally reveals that she is a woman. So she says, forget all this masculine attire that I have on. I can prove to you that I am Viola. I will take you to a certain captain who helped me come up with this disguise. And ever since then, I've been helping this lady and this lord. All right, tomorrow we finish off the play. I hope you're enjoying this last scene. It's so crazy. There's so many twists and turns, but it's also really fun, I think. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I'll talk to you later.